after a long night's work, I'm driving about an hour and a half to go check out a new Harley Davidson. We'll see you when we get there. Yeah, I always do too. Sounds good? Yeah.
All LED. Those lights are fantastic.
There's a ding right here. There's a bit of ding right here, and here, and back here. Got a little bit touched up, but... So guys, what'd you think? Nice bike. I think I'm gonna buy it. So I'm hoping to get down to the tail of the dragon sometime this summer. So it'd be cool to stop at Thunder Road and get a t-shirt where that bike originally came from, because I'm gonna take that bike. We'll see how everything shakes down and shakes out, and we'll continue this video when we get to go pick up the bike. Alright guys, so after you watch that little bit of me looking at that CVO, the deal didn't go through because the guy was just really weird, and I think there was something sketchy and something up with the bike, because suddenly he didn't want to sell it to me. So I was willing to give him like $7,500 right then and there, and pay the rest when I came to pick it up. And suddenly he didn't want to sell it. Well, he didn't want to sell it to me. He was like, well, I got another guy coming. It's like, dude, I'm giving you asking price, and now you want to fuck around. So I was like, yeah, I was a little pissed off because I drove an hour and a half to get there. One of my buddies said, he goes, well, maybe he was afraid to sell it to you because he knows you know your stuff, and he'd already called his bullshit on a couple things. So he was afraid you were going to buy it and then, you know, get 5 minutes away and come right back and give him a good thumping, which I wouldn't do. I'd bring it back, take my money back. Bought another motorcycle. It's exactly the same bike, same year, same everything. Has 100,000 less kilometers on it. Or sorry, it's in miles. This bike's in miles, so it's got 50,000 miles. The bike that I was looking at, or that you saw previously, had 168. So this is way less wear and tear on the bike, and I have more trust in it because I'm actually buying it at a Harley dealership, and it's all the way across the country. So it's literally 3,062 kilometers from my house to the dealership. So I was gonna ship it, which was $1,000, and then I'm like, why bother? I got vacation time coming up, and that'd be good for the videos. And so I thought I will fly out and ride back. So that has its own challenges, but apparently I can have a carry-on with my helmet as my personal item, and so I'll be flying out there to Calgary and heading back. So today I'm just doing some legwork to get everything set up. So the dealer in Calgary is also owns Durham Harley Davidson in Oshawa, Ontario. So that's where I'm heading now, Oshawa, which is 2.5 hours drive. I'll be there for literally 5 minutes to sign paperwork, and then turn around and drive 2.5 hours back. But it'll be worth it. So we were here a whopping total of 20 minutes. Paperwork's done, heading home. This is what driving back through Toronto looks like. Barely moving, cars everywhere. Alright guys, so I'm now close to Billings, just north of Billings, Montana. And I have been riding for 12 hours. And I rode in a plane for 5 hours before that, which was only supposed to be 4. And worked before that. So I left work early, jumped on a plane, came there. I still haven't been to sleep. Over 36 hours so far. Geez, that truck was loud. So I knew last year once I rode the Road Glide I'd end up getting one. So this is a 2011 CVO. So originally I wanted to land, go get the bike, go get a hotel room or a motel room so the bike could be right outside. I could do a bunch of stuff and get everything packed and all that kind of stuff, make life easy. But that kind of fell by the wayside when I got a whiff of I'd rather camp, and there was one very close, like half an hour, 40 minutes. So of course I opted for that, and I got there and all gone. So when I got there they were all spoken for, so off I went to the next. I think everything unraveled for me because of the things that I forgot. And when do I recall them? When I'm sitting on the plane waiting to take off. And that didn't go over well. And then, you know, I think whoever designs airplane seats, their ancestors were definitely the designers of torture devices like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. How do you expect people to fit in a 15-inch seat? Like, I swear that's all they were. I'm sitting there the whole time. Like, by the time I got up, my legs were cramped and it was horrible. I did not enjoy it. She likes to creep right back up to 80 even when I'm trying to behave myself. Sometimes it's good just to record when I'm just riding in silent, because I'll hear things on the camera that I didn't hear with my helmet and all that good stuff. This is, by the way, the new helmet. Hopefully you can't hear me breathing constantly. They really need to make the mic adjustable on the GoPros. But this is the new helmet setup. I tested it out the other day and it seemed to work pretty good. So, and then of course when I wanted to actually take it out on the bike and test it, rained every day. 4 days in a row. We're on the new helmet, on the new bike, and we be cruising. I got a new, well, you saw that new mount that was for the handlebars. They got this funky thing on here with the GPS controller, and that's in the way. So I might have to put it on the other side, but it doesn't look like they're going to, see, right back up to 80 again. Got a thing for 80 miles an hour. Want to cruise. I've been awake far too long to be driving fast and hard. And I'm telling you, as comfortable as this seat is, the seating position is just fucking killing me. I don't know what the hell it is. I've melted my shoe again. My shoe's all burnt. It's not actually melted, but it's nice and brown from where I keep having my heel touching the exhaust pipe. I really don't like big clunky stuff, and I find these boards clunky. Like, everything just seems to be misplaced on this bike as far as foot controls for me. So sometimes when I stop talking, it's just because I either saw something or something to do with driving, because that takes precedent. First priority, not dying. At first I thought I was crazy for buying a bike and then flying across the country to ride it back. And now I'm really questioning my sanity. I've been up for 40 hours and I can't find a place to stay. So the reason I started filming about this point is because this is where it gets interesting. All the roads from Calgary all the way down
to basically to Billings are pretty boring. At least I found them boring, and the ones I did in the dark, I can't tell you. So it was a cool night. Right now it's only 50 degrees. So many of the campgrounds they're just overrun. Like I went to one and it was all homeless people. There was no actual campers there. I went to another one, they only have 6 sites, so of course they were all gone. And you know, just one of those things. It's first come first serve on a lot of them, so whoever happens to get there. And honestly, I wasn't planning on using a campsite originally for the first couple nights. What do you guys think of the bike? I love those gauges in red, looks pretty cool. So far the bike has been okay. It has a couple issues that I'm not too happy about, but of course front suspension's way too squishy, and it has, I don't know, I'm sure you'll be able to see it, the check engine light comes on and off, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes the oil pressure gauge reads 0, and that's not good. That's a little concerning when I look down and it's at 0. I'm like, holy shit. So I checked the oil's right up, everything, and it hasn't tied up yet, so I'm hoping that it'll be fine. I'm hoping it's just a gauge issue or a sending unit. I don't know. Have to look into that one. Power wise, it seems decent. Gets up and goes decently. I haven't noticed any hiccups as far as when it's running. The light comes on, but it didn't miss or anything like that. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm gonna go over the whole bike obviously once I get it home. So they were supposed to inspect it to make sure it was nice and safe. So even though I don't trust anybody, so I had to go slow and easy and make sure everything was good. The tires seemed alright. Tires are half life, I'd guess, but they're Harley Dunlops, and I don't like them anyways. So those will get swapped out next year. They'll have to do for the rest of this year. But she's a cruiser. She'll get up. Like if you're not paying attention, you're in 4th gear and you're already over 90 miles an hour. She has no problem getting up in the power department. But it doesn't seem too bad on fuel yet. I'm trying to figure out how much I'm putting in versus how many miles I've gone. If it worst comes to worst and it seems to be acting up, I'll just take it to a nearest Harley dealer I can find and get them to see what the codes are. Like I said, I hope it's nothing major. When I don't have my headset or anything like that in, man, you can hear those injectors fire every single time. Like, it drives me crazy. But there's no getting around that unless you insulate them or something like that. I'm trying to bury the sound, but like I can hear it right now. It almost sounds like static, but it's those injectors. So we'll give you a good walk around and all that kind of good stuff. It's in decent shape. Like, you know, it's got a bit of wear and tear on it. Obviously it's 12 years old, and I didn't pay 40,000 or 50 or 60,000 for it, but it's fairly comfortable. First thing I did, I got 3 blocks away from the dealership, and that I had hit that heel shifter 3 times already, so I literally just pulled over and took it off. So it's been riding in the back the whole time. Right now I'm hoping to get to the one campsite that I actually did want to stay. There's two that I want to stay at, and this was one of them. And all the other ones, I had 6 lined up to, in case they were taken, I'd go to the next one, and all 6 were full. And didn't seem to matter where I went. There's that light again. Didn't seem to matter where I went. Everybody was already there. So guys, night 2. Hold up in Brodus, Montana. This is the sign. I don't know if you can read that or not. It's kind of tough with this GoPro. But this is where we've holed up for the night. 99 bucks, can't beat it. And I needed to get my ass out of that seat after so many hours. Go inside and have a look. So this is the digs for tonight, guys. I lost my cube for my phone, so I either forgot to put it in my bag or I lost it somewhere. So I got all my gear spread out on one bed. I was spread out on that bed, and I tried several camping grounds and they were all full. So I just said I finally just had enough, and first hotel I saw I stopped at, well, decent hotel that I stopped at. I went to check out a couple areas in other towns in Lethbridge and all the kinds of stuff, and there was no way. So this place isn't bad. It's nothing fancy, but I really don't care about fancy, to be honest. I care that I had a comfortable bed, warm, because last night it was very cold. It was 50 degrees where riding here, and I rode all night long. I pulled in here around 8 o'clock in the morning. So got my stuff all set up. I've camped out. I already slept 12 hours. Went to bed literally 9:15 this morning and woke up tonight just as the sun was going down. But hey, I got TV, AC, and I'm charging my phone right now off the motorcycle. I've rigged it up so I could charge when it's not running. I'm just gonna put a decent amount of charge on it so it's good until I get rolling again. So tomorrow we carry on and we'll be in Sturgis in about 2.5 hours, maybe even less than that. It's only a couple hours away. Continue our way down through Montana into Spearfish, and then I'm gonna probably veer off and go straight to Sturgis so I can get all the stuff I got to do inside of town done at once, and then the next 2 or 3 days I can just ride, and then hopefully I can find a campground where there is nobody there, and it won't be the weekend anymore, so I imagine it'll be a lot easier. But a lot of these campgrounds have these big grates in the ground so that buffalo or cattle can't get across them, but it makes it a bitch going across. Some of them I can't get across them on the motorcycle, so I'm hoping the one site that I'm going to, the campground does not have that, because I've already scoped it out online that it's nice and flat and all that kind of stuff, so I have no problem with hills and pushing a big heavy bike if it comes to it. But the worst part is getting across those cow catchers, so we'll see how that goes too.